Right, so we're moving on to part F. It's a use the formula to prove these values. So that's another way of finding the roots by actually substituting the A, B, and C into this formula. They call that the quadratic formula. Okay, so therefore now that's another way to find the roots. Use this formula to find these values of the roots. So that's another way to find the roots. Remember, y is equal to 0. So we can solve for a, b, and x using the quadratic formula. So for part F, the roots can also be obtained by using the quadratic formula. Right? And here's the quadratic formula. There it is. So first of all, we have to go to the function itself, the quadratic equation. Here it is. We all know at the roots, f of x is equal to 0, meaning y equals 0. Y is equal to 0 at the roots. Okay. Bear in mind, at the roots, y is equal to 0. We mentioned that already. Here it is, y is equal to 0. So we make y 0. And we're going to solve for x now. We're going to find what is -3. We're going to prove -3 and 1. And how to do that? We have to identify what is a, b, and c to substitute into this quadratic formula. You see b, a, and c. So a is equal to 1. Because if you don't see a number in front of the x squared, there's an invisible 1. B is equal to 2. C is equal to -3. So you're going to substitute into the quadratic formula. Okay. To solve for x. You see that? X. So get two values. So x equal to, right, it's a fraction, numerator and denominator. It comes with a negative sign in front of b, negative b. B, we got b to be 2. And it comes with a plus minus. So that's where you're going to get two values, one for plus and one for minus. You're going to see how this will be done. Under this square root sign, we have b squared. So that's 2 squared b squared, subtract 4. The formula comes over 4 times, open bracket, a is 1, times another bracket again, c is -3, divided by 2 times a, divided by 2 times 1, because we said a is 1. Always use brackets when you are substituting into this quadratic formula. So we're going to do this step by step. And put an equal there. -2 stays as -2. Okay, -2, right? 2 squared is 4, so this becomes 4. A -4 times 1 is a -4, and a -4 times a -3 is a +12. I repeat, -4 times 1 is -4. And -4 times -3 is a +12. A negative times a negative is a positive. You can actually prove it in your calculator. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 ones are 2. Okay. 4 plus 12 is 16. 4 plus 12 is 16. The square root of 16 is 4. Okay, the square root of 16 is 4. So what we have there in this step is x is equal to 2, negative 2, sorry. X is equal to negative 2 plus minus 4 over 2. So now we're going to make a separation. We're going to calculate for plus alone. All right. We're going to calculate for plus alone. And we're going to calculate for minus. Okay. So we're going to calculate minus 2 plus 4 over 2 and minus 2 minus 4 over 2. So minus 2 plus 4, that will give us 2. We're taking out 2 from 4, 2 over 2, and that will give us 1. Okay, so that's our first root. Let's write this properly. Minus 2 plus 2. Okay, so math type 1 to up top. So what can we do? Type them equal there. Okay, so separate this. All right. So minus 2 plus 2, that will give us minus 2 plus 4, sorry. That will give us 2 over 2. Which is equal to 1. All right, so that's the first one. You see 1, 0. So that's the first x value, 1, 0, and minus 2 minus 4. Negative 2, subtract 4. You take out 2 and you take out 4. You can prove it in your calculator. Minus 2 minus 4 will give us negative 6. And negative 6 divided by 2 will give us negative 3. Separation between those two x values, 1 and negative 3. So here they are, 1 and negative 3. And we know y is equal to 0. And when we made y 0, you have to make y 0 for you to find the roots. Here it is, y is equal to 0. Okay, let me write it down there. And just paste those roots there. And just to remind you all, here, just have a reminder that y is equal to 0. To find the roots, y have to be equal to 0. Y equals 0. So that's why you have 0 there, and then you solve for x by substituting into the quadratic formula. This formula will be provided to you. No one is required to memorize this formula. Okay, and here you have it, negative 3 and 1. Negative 3, 0 and 1, 0.